that's essentially the postmodern fracture itself. And semen retention, so that they can transform from the inside out while serving their sentence, to the point that when they leave the system, they enter into society as willing participants to like standard behavior. And this is arguably more important than the K-12, like reforming the K-12 education system, because legitimately speaking, what liberals and kind of the general public don't understand is that we're in a constant cycle of giving birth. When we look at social issues, you're not supposed to look at them from the point of view of the people who can inquire into their legitimacy right now. Because, like, for example, if I today, like, if my entire status as an academic or as a contributing member of society, not in a civil sense, but like and then that's what makes it interesting, is that I am associated to the University of Alberta. Well, the moment I get kicked out of the university, my ability to speak credibly is taken away. And that's problematic because, like, everything becomes a status hunt. But fundamentally, we're having a conversation about me as a person, and I'm talking to you as a person. These institutions that give us value are supposed to be deconstructed. We're legitimately supposed to be in a place under postmodernism where the institution isn't what makes your opinion valuable. Like, you need to contribute your opinion regardless, or your opinion is valuable regardless of the institutions that you're held to, because just straight up, you're going to get kicked out of university if you don't follow through with the mob rule of like this like hyper liberal, like working class woke ideology. Even posting onto YouTube, they have a set of rules that I might not adhere to. Like, you're just in a really tough place, and like fundamentally it can get so tough that literally I end up in prison. But the thing is, socially, prison is supposed to allow you to rebound into civil society all over again, but it's supposed to literally be the essence of civil society, because it's supposed to be able to take, just like a K-12 system, an uncultured mind, and then raise it up so that it understands the essence towards the pursuit of truth. But the difference between the K-12 and the penitentiary system is that the penitentiary system, you're already an adult, which means that fundamentally adult behavior in men revolves around semen retention, like would socially revolve around semen retention if society itself practices postmodernism and like is using the penitentiary system as a reforming practice and not strictly to manufacture the working class. And that's it. I'm just gonna keep yapping because I know that I shoot these things in like 15-minute increments. Foucault really fucking set all of us up for success with his thoughts about power. Like, the essence of masculinity, technically speaking, like, and you saw this in like Hellraiser 2, the psychiatrist made the comment to like the like up and coming psychiatrist that like a broken mind is the most valuable to an educated man. And it's that, like, legitimately speaking, I'm not trying to tell you, like, I'm not making the case that like I'm not speaking to you as a member of the public. I'm actually speaking to you, like, I might as well be speaking to the federal government of Canada. We all have professional responsibilities, and legitimately speaking, manufacturing, like, just having a penitentiary system in the first place is a philosophical nightmare. And to navigate it correctly, where money is not of concern, which is like literally, this is the thing, you have to get money out of politics, you have to get money out of the legal system, because once you, like, if you were to take money out of these institutions, which is deconstructing them, right? What you're going to find out is that you have to propose an equal or better alternative. And the best, literally the best standard, not even as an alternative, but just like literally it should exist now, even if money is in the system, is one where you're reforming prisoners, because these are the K-12 students that failed the system. Like the reason why we know the K-12 system is failing, besides doing just statistical research on like how effective the K-12 system is at doing its job, even though we don't even know what its job is. Like no one's seriously, like I think what the K-12 system, like I think technically speaking, all masculine, like patriarchy is an illusion. What the patriarchy should be doing, just fundamentally, is practicing semen retention. I remember during COVID, the federal government publicly announced that we shouldn't use glory holes, and so it's within the scope to talk about this stuff. Like if you like, and then okay, I just want to talk about universities because I guess I have a little bit more time than I know what to do with. So you might be like, okay, why semen? Like this is like a new age. This is spiritual. No, this is postmodern. When I go to university, when we all go to university, you're literally confronted with the institutional pressure from the outside in, of which you want to reform. But the thing is, when we talk about deconstructing these institutions, like clearly we fucked up. You're supposed to be reforming them from the inside out, but that, and you'd be like, oh, okay, so you have to put people of color, you have to put queer people in positions of power, and so on and so forth. No, I don't mean from the inside out of the institution. I mean from the inside out of the self onto the institution. And no one's figured out how to deconstruct the self in a militaristic, in a socially credible way that essentially does a reinvention of the methodology that's already established. No one's talking about semen retention. Although I want the men to successfully have pulled it off, like what you're okay, I'm gonna pivot just a tiny bit. If you practice semen retention, if you practice psychology, if you practice Ashtanga, what's gonna happen? It's not that you're gonna gain anything, it's that you're gonna lose things such as cravings, literally biologically, so you lose weight, lustful cravings, so you might have to you lose your girlfriend, divorce your wife, which would lead to like you developing a new standard, you're now a healthier person. Science is a hugely problematic issue in postmodern society because science has been captured. There's pseudoscience everywhere, and that's actually a really big point to what I'm talking about. And so what you do is you start deconstructing yourself, which leads you to start acting as the Übermensch, technically. And so from the inside out, you do the postmodern critique and fulfill its objective, which is a deconstruction of society. And then you play a participatory role and not just like enacting your vision onto the world without being accountable yourself to the self narrative that allows you to practice this like victimhood or like this position of authority, even like this oppressor, this slave oppressor narrative. And in the liberal arts, we're not scientists, like to the extent that psychology, like the social sciences and the such, but in general, like English isn't a science, for example, like obviously. It's a matter of taste, aesthetic, art. So how do you if the pressure of like the actual hard sciences is influencing social dialogue in the liberal arts, how would you? Okay, so you want to deconstruct narratives of science. You're going to have to like you are the product of science. You are the product of society. You are for sale. How would you specifically counteract that? You would talk about semen retention because it's simultaneously a literal scientific like behavior. Like I'm clearly talking about like a health behavior, but it's about fulfilling the postmodern objective, which is clearly a social theory. And so you're able to bridge the gap. You're able to do the anarchist thing, which is from the inside out, commit reform, where you yourself are the first thing to have been reformed. And like the whole thing is about reform. And like when you take it into politics, like when you take it into the social arena where taxes are concerned, you have to propose like necessarily like really, really robust, rather basic answers to problems so that the foundation of society, which is the one paid for by taxes, socially upholds service to the nation state. And like, again, the point of the nation state is to literally extract resources from the physical world. There's essentially no postmodernism at that level of society. And literally speaking, the equivalent of resource extraction in the physical world is resource extraction at the level of the body. Losing semen. You have to be able to get to a one-to-one basis with the literal reason why the nation state exists in your lived experience so that you can, at that level, do a deconstruction of which you're fulfilling the postmodern vision.
Ooh, this is